well, it's a thankless job, that's for sure. Well, hello everyone, this is your old pal, Hannibal the Vannimal, giving you a candid look at daily van life with almost no money. Just got off work. My boss has been off for about 4 days. This was his first day back. He needed the break. He gets a lot of guff from people up on high. And today was no different, you know. I feel like I grind out like we're supposed to, and I think the whole team actually overall does a really good job. And the manager guy gave him an email with a list of everything that he thinks that we're not doing. And it wouldn't be an issue, except those are the specific things that I do, and I know the guy that does my gig when I'm not here does like clockwork every time. And if it gets missed, we'll tell each other, just because we know it's expected to be done like clockwork. So he's saying things like overnight pickup delivery needs to be swept, cleaned, and scrubbed. First thing I do, if you guys saw my Walmart video that I did a few videos ago, you guys see that's kind of my whole process. So he complained about some of the stuff the manager complained about, saying that nobody's doing it. It's laughable, because literally those times that he stays after, which is rare, don't get me wrong, he sees me doing it. Like complaining that underneath the produce stands, you know, there's vegetables left underneath and this and that. I'm the one that implemented the using a leaf blower to blow everything out, and then I still get on my stomach and see if there's anything left. And he's watching me do it. Like he just about a week ago he was here and he saw me doing it, and he cocked his head and looked. So these things that he's claiming to my boss that we're not doing, he's literally seen us do with his own eyes. So it's one thing if he wants to say, hey, you need to give more attention to this part of this job here. Like, you know, maybe we're missing a corner. Maybe there's a spot on the corner that's been there for a month or something. I don't know. But the stuff that it makes you look less like you know what you're doing if you're coming to us and complaining about the stuff that we all know that we do. So it means you're not really paying attention and you're looking for things to complain about. And it's not a good look for a manager. I've had a lot of manager training courses over my lifetime and my over 50 years on this planet, and I can safely say that this guy, he's got a good work ethic, but just because you're a good employee doesn't make you a good boss. And I think that's one of the flaws that Walmart has, is since we promote from within, we have a limited amount of training we give people, and there's favoritism and everything else, and plus certain areas are hurting for these kinds of people with this aptitude. So you get what you get, and a lot of times I think we're getting kind of carbon copies of what a good boss was in the beginning. So it's a little less and a little less. So somebody had a good boss, they took over, but they're not quite as good a boss. And then maybe we even had a disconnect where someone just got promoted and only saw from afar what a manager does, and then started emulating that, and so on. I think we got a domino effect of nobody here knows what a good boss looks like, and they all try. Like a lot of the people that have been promoted are trying to boss like this current manager, and this current manager, he's been here as long as I have. He started his first month when I started or whatever, so he hasn't been here long or whatever. And people who have been here for years, we're talking 15 to 25 years, which is crazy to have people who've been at this Walmart that long. And there are a lot of people who've been here even longer. You'll hear it on our little Walmart radio. But they have opted to go to a different Walmart to work. People who are coaches and team leads and stuff have left to go to other Walmarts further away to work. Many of them are trying to get me to go with them, but you know, I just want to scrub floors, so it's not necessarily like if I go to another section, another Walmart, I will probably have to do floors, bathrooms, and like whatever is needed at the time, and then you know, people overlap. Whereas here, since the other guys tear up the machines and all this other stuff, I just get to sweep and scrub the floors, pay attention to that. Like, I basically came in to clean floors, and that's what I do. And everyone else takes up the slack of the other stuff because they prefer to do that anyway. So I'm just saying, you know, I like to give everybody a chance, but this guy's 40. At 40, you kind of need to know what you're doing when it comes to this kind of gig. You still have room for improvement, yes, but, you know, if all these people that were good, hard workers are leaving, and citing the reason is because how they're being treated and stuff. And don't get me wrong, corporate itself isn't doing too great, because I don't know if you've seen the news and stuff, but there's a hiring freeze. So we, instead of getting that seasonal group that you usually get, we didn't get that this time. We got case-by-case basis. If we need an extra body, we get an extra body. We're not just hiring 10 to 20 new seasonal people to help us through the holidays. And they cut our hours, right? So that's not a real morale booster. And during the holidays, these folks really depend on that overtime. I try to keep myself in the position of I never want to depend on overtime. I don't think overtime should be just a little surprise extra, and not like the norm. I think if it needs to be the norm, you just need to pay me the equivalent what the overtime would be, or bring in another body to offset why we have to have overtime. That's just me. But I think morale over here is at kind of a low. Another person, you know, a couple days ago, the team lead that always handles my schedule and stuff, it took the place of the other team lead that left and wanted me to go with her, walked out. Grabbed her purse, walked out. Word is she's got another job lined up already. But, you know, that's a pretty, you work your way up to this spot pretty over time, you know. So to just walk out because she felt like she was getting saddled and blamed with basically the stuff that was happening on the day shift, she was getting saddled with the blame on the night shift. And if you just look at this stuff, you know, kind of objectively, you can tell it wouldn't be possible for the night shift to have affected any of the issues that were presented to us. But, you know, it's not my place. So, and now the other person who's not in charge, but kind of gets put in charge whenever these guys go somewhere else, is of the mindset if they don't bring in somebody else to be in charge fast, they're hitting the bricks too. I haven't been there that long, folks, and I'm already starting to be old head at this, when the people prior to me, when they left, were in 15, 20, 25 year time frames. Like, we're not talking about a bunch of new hires who are like, yeah, I was never going to stay here. They made this their career. Excuse me. And a lot of them live close to here, but they've opted to go work further out just for the peace of mind. That says a lot to me. And I feel bad about it, you know. It doesn't really affect me. You know, even if you don't like XYZ, you know, if you don't know me, your opinion of me does not really matter to me at this stage of my life. Only the people that know me would have hurt my feelings if they said something that I didn't feel, you know, was accurate or something like that. So that's where I'm at. That's why I don't mind looking them straight in the eye and having straight conversations, and everyone else will be on pins and needles. And in my younger days, I probably would have too. This is a part-time job, and don't get me wrong, I need it, but this is not the kind of job that I can't grab somewhere else. And I know my worth, and I know that when I come in here, I work. And if you want to say I don't work, pull up the cameras. We've got cameras all over the place. Pull up the cameras. That's kind of my answer to everything. If you show me on the cameras where I'm not working, if I stop doing anything for longer than a minute, okay, fine. Write me up. I'll walk myself. Doesn't matter. But you won't find it. That's not how I operate. I take my breaks and I take my lunches, but the rest of the time, I'm grinding out. I will always be busy. That's the beautiful thing about being part-time. 3 days a week I work here. I can keep busy for 3 days a week. I got plenty to do. So, all right. We work again tonight.
Old treasure chest,
bro. That's so funny.
You had a parrot. She had a parrot.
A real parrot?
No. Real parrot would probably freak out and have a heart attack.
Yeah, we did. I did just
All right, everyone, it's that time once again. You know, that time where I had trouble sleeping, so I only got about 2 hours of sleep again. And we've migrated over to Planet Fitness. There's a few camper vans over here. That one van back there with the trailer and the window air conditioner in the back window, he's got his blinds and everything up. I don't know if that means he's going to try to stay overnight or not, but he's there. And then there's a Ford Transit up here with some blackouts on the back glass. So I know we got a few nomads, and the problem with that is not so much a problem, but that means they're probably here for the showers as well. So sometimes the issue is I get in there and the showers are tied up with fellow nomads, and fellow nomads tend to take long showers because we appreciate the fact that we get to have a nice hot shower. So all right, gonna pack my bag up and then go inside. Oof. Well, got lucky. I was the only one using the showers. Whoever's in that van behind me with that trailer, I hear a motor running. I don't think it's their engine, but something's running inside, so they've got all their blinds up. I think they're already sleeping in right now. Worked in my favor. All right. Definitely want to get some Circle K. Grab that drink. And then we'll be moseying. For the first time since I've been going to Circle K and getting these fountain drinks, since I've been living van life, that was a solid Coca-Cola. I think what it is I think we had clean nozzles and a fresh batch of syrup hooked up. So it is possible to get a good fountain Coca-Cola at Circle K. It's not a McDonald's Coca-Cola, but it's definitely better than Buc-ee's and better than Panda Express. Solid. So hit and miss. I am in the Walmart parking lot, so I'll be going in about 10 minutes. It's just been a regular day today, and any day I don't have any headaches is a good day. I would have liked to have gotten more sleep. If I'm being honest, I was a little bored today. Like, I wasn't restless, but I couldn't get any sleep, and it wasn't anything that I was in the mood to watch, and I didn't feel like editing any more videos. I did fry up one of the pork chops that I got earlier in the week and made myself a nice pork chop sandwich out of that, and that came out really well. Happy is the one that likes pork for some reason. She'll eat ham, she'll eat like pork chops, bacon, everything. The other cat's poultry, and usually they don't like dark meat. But Happy is, if she smells any pork product, she comes running. So I gave her a piece because she did get her mouth on the end of my pork chop and tried to drag an entire pork chop bone in away. Pretty typical Happy. But so I ate good. Got a good beverage going on here. So tomorrow and the next day we are off. I need to go to storage tomorrow. My son's asked me to pick up a couple things for him, and I'm hoping to get it packed up and to him before Thanksgiving, which I know is going to be pushing it, but he's in New York and it's kind of a short delivery time. But I think he says no rush, but I think he would like to have it while he's on Thanksgiving break, because he's just going to be hanging out at the dorms where everyone else is, not there. So, all right. I've had a good day. I hope you have as well. And until next time, this is your old pal, Hannibal the Vanable, signing off.